r/AskReddit. Doctors and nurses of Reddit who have delivered babies to mothers who clearly cheated on their husbands. What was that like? Mother to be warned, this could go one of two ways prior to delivery. Wasn't sure what she meant. She was white, as was her husband. Delivered baby was black. Then it all made sense. So one of my very white friend's girlfriends was pregnant, and when the baby was born it was very purple looking. Buddy flipped out, went on Facebook announcing she was a cheating hoe, and had another man's baby. Few days later the baby was very white and the DNA test showed it was his. He just deleted his whole damn Facebook instead of owning up to it. Did he think she cheated on him with Barney the dinosaur? Not a cheating story, but my sister's friend was born fair-skinned with red hair and green hazel eye colored. Both parents are dark-skinned with black hair and brown eyes. When her mom gave birth, everyone in the room went silent. However, the father knew that his wife didn't cheat. Turned out, his wife's great-great-grandmother had red hair and fair skin. However, hospital protocol made both parents get a DNA test, and everything was okay. I'm red-haired with blue eyes from a dad with black hair and brown eyes and a mom with auburn hair and hazel eyes. My sister is light blonde with blue eyes. My sister looks very much like my dad features-wise, but I'm more like my mom, and I'm not entirely convinced my dad is my dad, but at this point, it'd be just a nod FYI. He's my dad in the way that matters. Not exactly the situation you're asking for, but Reddit loves a good crazy mill story. My dad is blonde and my mom is brunette. I came out of the womb with fiery red hair. My dad's mom made a huge fuss about my mom cheating on my dad and had to be escorted out of the hospital. My grandmother's own mother had flaming red hair, which she apparently forgot until my great-grandmother held me for the first time and said, "I always wanted a baby with my red hair." Wait, so your dad's mom forgot that her own mom had red hair? Not a doctor or nurse, but an undergrad I had a buddy, Caucasian, who'd been dating the same girl, also Caucasian, for a while. She gets knocked up, he proposes. Fast forward a few months and both families are eagerly waiting at the hospital to meet the baby. The baby comes out black. Everyone is in shock. Girl is frantically trying to convince everyone that there's been a misunderstanding. My buddy called off the engagement immediately, returned the ring, and never looked back. Misunderstanding? How could there be any kind of misunderstanding? I had a friend in high school who was black and Filipino, but looked more black than Filipino, including skin tone. Issue is his mother is Filipino and his father is white. He popped out, and the story goes she said the exact same thing, swears up and down it's his. Paternity test comes out and he was, in fact, his. They did research and tests and his great-great-grandfather on the Filipino side was black. Makes for interesting family pictures with them. Had a patient who came into her for UT with very boyfriend of 4 months. His words. She was 19. Acting extremely dramatic for just having UT. We tell her we need urine. She urges us to cath her, which is really unusual, but she says she can't pee, so me and other nurse assume the position to put in a Farley with her lying on the gurney. At this point nurse screams, "Call L&D." She's crowning. L&D nurse gets in just in time to grab the child as it shoots out into her hands and is a living breathing baby. The girl swears she had no idea she was pregnant. They wheel her off to postpartum and the guy is just kind of left standing there, dumbstruck. We only been dating 4 months. I had no idea she was pregnant. She never mentioned it at all, as he just buried his head in his knees while he was sitting on the floor against the hallway wall. I felt so bad for the guy. Maybe I'm wrong, but wouldn't a pregnant person have at least some physical indication that they are pregnant? Like, I know there's the fear of asking if someone is pregnant and they aren't, but like, if you're dating, wouldn't that be fairly evident over time? Edit. Just want to thank everyone that has responded. I now understand that it is not uncommon for women to not show typical pregnancy signs during a pregnancy. I have learned more than I expected today. If you ever see the show I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant, it's more common than you'd think. Some ladies just plain won't show at all, and others may just look a bit plumper, but not obviously pregnant. Not a doctor, but someone in my extended family had a baby. 2 Middle Eastern parents that turned out to be dark-skinned. The father of the baby filed for divorce, even though the mother kept saying the baby was his. A few years later, they found out that the mother's great-grandmother was African and that the baby obtained strong genes from her. They didn't get back together because too much had gone down at that point, but the mother was right all along. TLDR, two Middle Easterns had dark-skinned baby. Husband divorced, but later it was found out that it was genetics. To think this would have been solved with a paternity test. Super awkward for everyone involved. The husband was only in the room for a bit, then left and didn't see him again. The father of baby showed up after the baby was born. I've also had where they didn't know whose baby it was, so both guys were present to see whose they thought it was. Jesus, this is painfully awkward. When my baby was born, people asked me if her father was Polynesian. Nope. He's a skinny white man. There was no doubt he was the father. She was born with thick black hair. She was a big baby, 4 kilograms, and had jaundice, which made her look very tan. The hair fell out, the jaundice went away, she thinned out, and I now have a strawberry blonde haired 2-year-old that looks exactly like her papa. But man, if I hadn't known he was the only man I'd slept with, I would have some serious doubts. Thanks for this. Now I have the mental image of a baby popping out, the mother looking at the baby and audibly going, wait a minute, I don't remember cheating. Obligatory, not a doctor or nurse, but both of my parents had blonde hair. When I was born, my hair was strawberry blonde. My paternal grandparents lost their shit and accused my mom of cheating because red tinted hair didn't run in their family. However, it ran in my mom's family, with a red head popping up every now and then. My paternal grandparents didn't know that. They just really hated my mom, so looked for excuses to drag her down. It wasn't until I stopped looking like a potato, as most newborns do, and started looking like a person, when my dad's family features came through enough to make them apologize to my mom. Did your mom forgive them? I'd flip my shit forever if my in-laws said that to me, ESP after giving birth. Damn. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so that you can see when I upload new daily content. Goodbye.